But I will recognize my own leader. Responsible, mature, soft-spoken Tunde Obeha. Our uncle Buba Galadima, you are welcome. Former Minister of Sports, replica of Thomas Sankara, you are welcome. Former National Organizing Secretary and now Senator, please, you are welcome. Our Publicity Secretary, doing well, I respect you. You are welcome, Bolaji. The Deputy National Chairman, Senator Tashi, you are welcome. There's a man also I call Kukuruku, former chairman of ABGA, today Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and he has seen the light. I call him Senator Kukuruku.
ADC! Arise! ADC! Arise! ADC! Arise and shine Nigeria!
Minority Leader of the Senate, 20 years in the National Assembly, now is an indigene of the National Assembly. Area Abaribi. My uncle, Senator Ozamere, I salute you. Senator Clement Kisipo, I salute you. All the national officers of our party, can you just wave, please? All national officers, I've seen you. Okay. Youth leader is there. And finally, the leader of the PWD, our group. Please, can we give him one bosa? Bosa! Don't worry. When we form
ADC, arise! ADC, arise! ADC, arise and shine for injustice. No to one-party state and no to poverty in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. You are working for the office of the Special Assistant to the President on Persons with Disability. We have no financially disabled. And I want to announce that we are live, and this program is being beamed live. So please, without wasting much of our time, we are going straight to the reason why we are here. We are going to invite the national chairman of our party to read the message of the Nigerian people. Because what he wants to read is the message of the Nigerian people against tyranny, against dictatorship, against a totalitarian, against Tinubu. And I'm telling you, by the grace of God, by the grace of the Almighty God who created heaven and earth, God will subdue Tinubu and APC. So without wasting much of our time, I'm going to invite a former and retired general, former president of the Senate, former sole administrator of Niger State, former minister, aka Knighted, and gentleman par excellence, our own David Mark, to please read the message of the Nigerian people. We need to please be very quiet and attentive, because this is a world press conference, and we want Trump to hear where he is, so that Trump can change his mouth from saying that somebody is a Christian, somebody is respected, all that gone. So please, the chairman, sir, yes, please.
On behalf of the African Democratic Congress, ADC, and all members all my
flattening. Discovering his face. Flattening now.
On behalf of the African Democratic Congress and all lovers of democracy, I welcome all of you to this World Press Conference. Since 1999, Nigeria has been under democratic rule. After 27 years, we thought we could proudly celebrate the entrenchment of democracy, believing that the country's dictatorial path has receded into history. Our experience in the past 3 years or so, since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came to power, has however confirmed otherwise. Democracy is only sustained by the quality of freedom that it offers and guarantees, especially the freedom to choose, the freedom to participate, and the freedom to associate. These freedoms are so critical to democracy that without them, democracy dies. Yet, in the past 3 years, we witnessed a relentless assault on these very freedoms. The agenda is very clear: to create a situation where in 2027, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerges as the only option left for the people, despite the widespread suffering and wanton killings going on across the length and breadth of this country. The twin challenge of deepening poverty, worsening security situation in the country did not just happen. There are direct consequences of the failure of this government. They know that Nigerians will not want to continue. They know Nigerians will put them out. This is why they would come together under ADC to save multi-party democracy in Nigeria and rescue Nigeria from what was clearly an emerging dictatorship. We did not come to the ADC by chance. We did our due diligence. We fulfilled all the party's constitutional requirements, as well as all wider requirements under the laws that guide the management and the operation of political parties. In furtherance of this process, a NEC meeting was convened on July 29, 2025, monitored by NEC officials. One of the conclusions of that NEC meeting was the dissolution of the National Working Committee of the party and the ratification of the Caretaker Committee to take over the affairs of the party, with my humble self, David Mark, as the National Chairman, Rahul Ugbeni Adegbeshola as the National Secretary, as well as the organization. He decided to approach the court on September 2, 2025, 4 months after he resigned, seeking to be recognized as the chairman of the ADC. What this means is that by the 2nd of September, when he approached the court, INEC was already aware that Secretary Adegbeshola and I had been inaugurated on the 29th of July in the process monitored by INEC. INEC was also aware that they had resigned his position before the inauguration on the 29th of July. While this matter was in court, our team of lawyers approached the Court of Appeal, challenging the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court. In rejecting the appeal, the Court of Appeal ordered the parties, including INEC, to maintain status quo ante-belli. After this ruling on 12th of March 2026, we noticed a flurry of activities by lawyers associated with Nafi Balago, requesting INEC to recognize him as the new chairman, or to derecognize Adegbeshola and I as the secretary and chairman respectively, in a curious interpretation of what constitutes status quo ante-belli. But we know all along that Nafi Balago and its lawyers were not acting on their own violation. They have become willing tools in the hands of the ruling party that have lost all support and goodwill to the Nigerian people. A government that has become desperate, so desperate to cling to power by all means, and even if it means throwing the country into avoidable crisis. In the past couple of months, ADC has become the only viable opposition party left in Nigeria. But this APC government does not want any opposition. While we were fully aware of all their desperate plans, we remain confident that no level of desperation would have driven the government and the INEC to take a direct action against the ruling of the court. But we were wrong. It was therefore, to our surprise yesterday, 1st of April, that INEC issued a press statement after the close of business hours, announcing that it had decided to withdraw recognition of both the ADC leadership, which I heard, and the fictitious one purportedly led by Nafi Bala, thereby creating a false equivalence between the parties. By purporting to recognize Nafi Bala as a faction, INEC seems to have conveniently forgotten that this individual had resigned his position to the knowledge of INEC itself. The crux of the matter is the interpretation of what constitutes status quo ante belli, which the Court of Appeal directed should be maintained. From all authoritative counsel at our disposal, there is no legal interpretation of precedent that could possibly lead to the outcome that INEC seeks to poison on our part. Based on this press conference of yesterday, INEC is pretending to be confused as to what constitutes the status quo ante belli. If this was so, under the circumstances, one would have expected was for INEC to approach the Court of Appeal to request a judicial interpretation of what truly represents the status quo under the circumstances. But INEC did not do this. While posturing to be neutral, these actions confirm that it has become irredeemably partisan, working as it were towards a preconceived agenda. With this action, this INEC has left no one in doubt that it has chosen the path of dishonor and has become complicit in undermining Nigerian democracy. It therefore can no longer be trusted. What we say in essence is this: INEC cannot choose to fix the status quo from the day it took the administrative action to upload the names of the new ADC members on its website. Because INEC does not have the power to determine for any political party who its leaders should be. That decision was taken on July 29, 2025, not on September 9th. With this press conference yesterday, INEC has invented a status quo that never existed, because there was no time that the African Democratic Congress, ADC, did not have a fully constituted leadership. What INEC has done is to create a situation that by its own curious logic leaves the ADC without leadership. This certainly cannot be the status quo that the Court of Appeal directed should be preserved. It is an INEC invention that is not known to any Nigerian law. There is only one conclusion that Nigerians can draw from the 1st of April 2026 action taken by INEC. The electoral umpire are taking sides. It can no longer be trusted. As a matter of fact, INEC has acted in contempt of the Court of Appeal and has therefore acted unlawfully. My fellow Democrats, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is not the ADC that is under attack. It is a direct assault on Nigeria's democracy and the right of Nigerians to choose, to participate, and to exercise their rights as free citizens. We have witnessed how the APC-led federal government has undermined, compromised, and coerced other opposition political parties. The ADC has risen as the last posting between Nigeria's democracy and full-blown dictatorship. And this is what worries them. What is now unfolding is a concerted effort to dismantle that last bulwark. If we allow this to happen, it could signal the end of our democracy as we know it today. If we yield to it, we would have become complicit by our inaction. We therefore hold it a duty to our democracy and to the Nigerian people to say no. Right now, I speak to Nigerians at home and in the diaspora. I also speak directly to President Tinubu. With 90% of the National Assembly and over 30% of Nigeria's 36 governors in the APC, President Tinubu, what are you afraid of?
ADC! Arise! ADC! Arise and shine Nigeria!
If you are convinced that you have done well for the people who voted for you, why are you afraid of a free, fair, and transparent electoral contest? If you are indeed the Democrat that you claim to be, why are you bent on destroying all opposition political parties in this country? Let me reiterate for the record, there are no competing claims on the leadership of the ADC. Nafi Obala has no locus whatsoever. INEC should have waited for the Court of Appeal to decide this matter. Instead, INEC went ahead to do the bidding of the ruling party. For let us be clear, the role of INEC over political parties is not administrative, it is not managerial, it is simply supervisory. For the avoidance of doubt, the leadership of ADC inaugurated at the 29 July 2025 NEC meeting remain the lawful leaders of the party.
Let's go.
Party members and all Nigerians should therefore remain calm as there is no cause whatsoever. It is important to state the net implications of this decision taken by INEC in case they have not thought of it or they just do not care. First, by attempting to subvert the leadership of the ADC, INEC has already undermined our participation in the Osun and the elections taking place later this year. Secondly, we have our congresses starting on the 9th of April 2026, ending with our convention on the 14th of April 2026. We have given due notice to INEC and they have acknowledged receipt of that notice. This is what the law requires of us. Let us sound a note of warning. This INEC under Professor Bishar Amopito will be held directly responsible for whatever actions or inaction or reactions that follow this criminal path that it has taken. Our demand is therefore very clear. We demand the immediate resignation or sack of the INEC chairman. Professor Amopita and all his national commissioners. We no longer have confidence in them. We are convinced that they are incapable of conducting any credible elections.
Exactly.
Let us also make it clear We are proceeding with our party programs because there is nothing under the law that makes INEC's attendance a mandatory requirement.
Simple.
We have duly served the INEC notice and we will proceed accordingly. We also call on the international community to take note of INEC's activities of first April under the restraint we have exercised so far. We urge them to recognize the clear threat to Nigeria's democracy and stability, and to hold accountable those who are undermining the integrity of the electoral process. We call on Nigerians to defend our democracy. This is a defining moment. Stand firm, speak out, participate, resist any attempt to impose the one-party system on Nigeria.
Yes.
Nigeria belongs to all of us, and together we must protect it. It is often said that the arc of history does not bend towards terrorism, it bends towards people. No matter how long the night may seem, the morning will come. Nigeria will not be silent. ADC will not be silent. Nigeria will not be conquered, and ADC will not be conquered.
Yes.
Nigeria is rising, ADC is rising.
Yes.
Thank you and God bless you.
Please, let's give our national chairman a standing ovation. Thank you very much, sir. That was the voice of David, and with that David voice, Goliath obituary has been announced. Thank you very much. Sit down, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the message of the Nigerian people. INEC from our